Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a pleasant good Monday afternoon for Day 4 of the 2026 North Dakota State B Legion Baseball Tournament right here on yourliveevent.com. I'm Chase Miller alongside Brent Dick. Thank you so much for tuning in to our broadcast here on this Monday afternoon, and welcome to our pregame show brought to you in part by Chris Mellon with Nodak Insurance Company. We have our final elimination game of the tournament. The winner of this game will be top 2 in the state, but still have a chance to win a state championship, as well as Grafton awaits in the weeds. Taking a look at yesterday, Grafton defeated Garrison via the 10-run rule in 6 innings, 13-3 in the semifinal round matchup. While for Thompson, they won 2 elimination games yesterday with a 7-2 win against Burlington and a 4-0 win over Lisbon. So Lisbon, Edgeley, and Burlington all eliminated from the tournament yesterday, alongside with Lemoore and Velva 2 days ago, which means 3 teams are vying for 1 spot. We could crown a champion today, and if we do, that means Grafton wins a championship. If we crown a champion tomorrow, that means all 3 teams are still alive and have a chance to win the State B. Chase Miller, Brent Dick with you again. Brent, just let's go through yesterday. Let's start with the semifinal round matchup. Garrison was the benefactor of some errors in their first 2 games. Then it came around the corner, and they gifted Grafton a few runs in that one. Give Grafton, though, top to bottom in that lineup. They put the ball in play. They ran the base as well. They put pressure on Garrison, but Garrison lost by 10. So what's the bounce back here for the Titans moving forward as they get ready to go up against Thompson, which they beat earlier in this tournament?
Yeah, Garrison just has to get back to playing their style of baseball. So I think, I think Grafton just kind of caught him, later on, I guess that second and third inning really just shut the door on Garrison and just took him off their game. And, I looked at Garrison coming in. I thought nobody would be able to touch them, but Grafton kind of proved me wrong yesterday. And just a great performance yesterday, just, from top to bottom in the Grafton lineup.
On the opposite side for Thompson, a nice quality win over both Burlington and Lisbon. They scored 11 runs. They only gave up 2. They were able to pitch well in those games as well. So what's the mentality for Thompson after you staved off elimination twice? And now if they want to get to Tuesday, they'll have to stave off elimination twice again here today.
Yeah, Thompson did a great job. Their coach just talked about getting back to Thompson baseball, being resilient, and, what a difference a day makes for Thompson, because they got kind of beat up a little bit when they were playing Garrison. They came back, they got the overnight, a good night's rest, and they came back, played just great baseball yesterday, making it into this next semifinal, or I guess this consolation semifinal game.
As we go through here, Thompson and Garrison, we'll talk about it a little bit with the coaches as well, Brent, but what's the mentality like going into a game where you're top 3 in the state, but if you lose, your season's done. If you win, you got a really good Grafton team still to come, and then you're trying to play 24 hours from now that second championship. So what's maybe an X factor? Who's a player? What do these teams have to do well today to try to get to Grafton and then worry about, Grafton coming up here in 2 hours?
Yeah, I think when we were, kind of looking at the pitch counts, we thought maybe they just have to do a cookie cutter approach, but I think, both these teams look like they got a solid pitcher out there, going to take the mound with a lot of pitches left still in their repertoire. So, they're going to rely on their pitching, get the defense going, and, they got to get those timely hits, like you talked about Thompson, with the runner on base, and they got 2 outs. They have to be able to move those runners across the base, so that, might be one of the keys there.
Well, to your point, Grady Crawford, he has pitched once yesterday, but just 19 pitches, so he has a full arsenal of 120. Then Tom Schumacher, he has just 1 appearance yesterday, but it was only 14 pitches. So to your point, it makes a lot difference of a strategy when you can tell a guy, hey, go out there like a normal game instead of, hey, you got 70 to work with, and try to get us to the 4th, maybe 5th inning if you're fortunate. How does that kind of change the complexity, Brent, from a coach's perspective, knowing you got your full arsenal, so to speak, here in a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, just going to give the team more confidence. They played with each other all year long, so they know what kind of pitcher they're going to put on the mound. They know that, hey, he's got 115, 116 pitches still left in the tournament or for the day. So it's just going to make them a better ball club. So you're not just, you don't have to do a bunch of plug and play. You're going to switch the lineup around, and now you got a guy maybe playing a position that he's not so familiar with. So it's just going to be, it's just the strengths of your team. You're going to be able to use those a little bit better, at least starting out today.
As we take a timeout, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get to our coaches' conversation coming up around the corner. It's Thompson and Garrison with the winner to play in the championship against Grafton roughly at around 3:30 or so here from Lisbon Fire Department Field at Sandager Park. This is the State B Legion Baseball Tournament.
This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. The dog days of summer are here and harvest has begun. Please stay safe this season. Summer also means heavily discounted shop, seed meter, and planter inspection rates. Cash and early order discounts pair with $50 per row rebate offered on new systems. And don't forget the fantastic interest rates, including 0% for 1 year. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 with any questions or visit planterdoc.com.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Show your Bronco pride everywhere you go with the Bronco Spirit Card from American Bank and Trust in Lisbon, featuring the official Lisbon Bronco mascot logo. The Bronco Spirit Card lets you support Lisbon Public Schools every time you make a purchase. With each swipe of your Bronco Spirit Card, American Bank and Trust donates a percentage back to the school district to help fund projects of their choice. Stop by American Bank and Trust in Lisbon today and ask about the Bronco Spirit Card. Locally owned, community focused, Bronco proud, member FDIC.
As we continue on the pregame show here today, brought to you in part by Chris Moe Nodak Insurance Company here in Lisbon for day number 4 of the State B Legion Baseball Tournament. It's Garrison and Thompson joining us from the Garrison perspective is their head coach. That's Gage Garrison here. And Gage, for your team, just getting ready for this game, what's the message to the club? I know you said you got a resilient team here earlier in the weekend, and obviously there's going to have to be some resiliency here today, but what's the message to your club as you get ready for a rematch here with Thompson?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just kind of backs against the wall. Come out, we have nothing to lose, and just play loose, play our brand of baseball, and kind of forget about what happened yesterday. You know, baseball is one of those games where you can't dwell on the past. You have to keep moving forward. Just be ready for that next pitch. You know, in the field, be ready to make a play and know you're going to make that play. And when you're in the batter's box, just knowing that you're going to, you know, have a good at-bat and get a hit something hard.
Let's talk about Grady Crawford. What do you want to see from him when he takes the hill here later this afternoon?
I just want to see command early on in counts. I want him to consistently get up, which is something he's always done throughout the past couple of years, and he's really done a great job of that this year. So just getting up in counts, getting ahead of hitters, and kind of keeping them guessing. You know, when we get up 0-2, 1-2 in those types of counts, just keep them on their toes and don't let them kind of sit on a specific pitch. If he were to get down, so just kind of having that command early, trying to shut him down and just trusting that field, challenging those hitters and allowing us to make plays in the field.
Gage, going up against Thompson second time around, does much have to change from the scouting report, or what needs to be the same that you kind of, you know, played against Thompson earlier in that 1-0 matchup earlier this tournament here, Gage?
Well, I really hope we play in the field the same way that we played against Thompson in the field. We played a very, very clean baseball game. That game. Obviously, Cooper Coble did a great job on the mound, and we expect Grady Crawford to do the same thing. To carry over some different things, though, kind of thinking back to that Lisbon game, I hope our bats are as hot as they were that game. So if we could combine the fielding that we had in that Thompson game and the batting that we had in that Lisbon game, that would be huge for us.
You go through in this, we've been talking about it on the broadcast, just how deep it is to left center to right center here. It's kind of a graveyard in between in the middle. So do you have to change your approach that much, or is it, hey, you know what, let's just go get a barreled up baseball, and if you hit one 350 and it gets caught, you just got to, you know, tip the cap to the defense, so to speak, Gage?
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, like you said, the 350 right to that left fielder or center fielder, that's a tough one. But if you hit the ball hard consistently, it's going to find its way down. So just kind of focusing on barreling up the baseball, like you said, and just making hard, solid contact is our main focus for today, especially with this wind. You'd like to keep the ball a little lower on the ground maybe, or just some more solid line drives that don't get too far off the ground. But like I said, you know, you're just focused on hitting the ball hard and not really worrying about where it goes necessarily, because more times than not, if you hit the ball hard, it's going to find its way down.
Gage, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck here today.
Thank you.
And talking a little Garrison Titan baseball. We'll continue with more after this. This interview brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
Say goodbye to discomfort and say hello to reaching your full potential. At Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness, our diverse team of experts has your back in any phase of life. From the warm, friendly greeting to connecting with your therapist, Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness is the backbone of your health. High-quality care with a personal touch. Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness.
As we continue on the pregame show, brought to you in part by Chris Miller, Nodak Insurance Company. Day number 4 of the State B Legion Baseball Tournament here in Lisbon, North Dakota at Lisbon Fire Department Field at Sandager Park. It's Garrison and Thompson, second matchup between these two teams here in the state tournament. Joining us from the Thompson perspective is their head coach, Nate Solis. This interview brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank. Nate, 2 games yesterday that you had to come out and have really good performances from, able to do so. A nice twin killing late in that Lisbon game, 5-4-3 to turn it around the yard. Just what did you see from your guys' performance against Burlington and Lisbon that you hope to carry over here in day number 4?
Yeah, really happy we found ways to score runs when our bats weren't really going, and then that continues. You keep doing that, you get a little confidence from bunting the ball around and causing teams to make mistakes, running the bases hard. So just gets you a little confidence booster. Then you start swinging the bats a little bit at the nightcap. So we're looking to carry that over again today. And like you said, two really good pitching performances from Grady. Going to be a sophomore coming up here, I suppose, 2 weeks or so when school starts. So a young guy and doesn't have a ton of experience, obviously, at this level. But he's pitched a few games for us. He's obviously kind of been one of our main arms on the Babe Ruth level. So we knew he was going to go out and attack the zone. He did just that. And Cooper, same thing. He's first year with us, and he's made some starts, made some relief appearances, and knew that we just needed. You always have a backup plan, but it's really nice when you don't have to use a backup plan. You can just use 2 guys and save a little bit of pitching, knowing you got a long road ahead.
You had Garrison earlier here in the tournament in that 1-0 matchup. Just what do you kind of remember from that game that has to be similar or maybe be better from your perspective here, Nate, going into this second matchup with Garrison?
Yeah, we got to put balls in play more consistently and also find a few more barrels. A lot of weak contact on the ground balls, a lot of lazy fly balls, and deep park, wind blowing in the last few days. Like, ball's not going to go anywhere. So I really liked our approach last night, really hoping to carry that over. You got to put pressure on the defense. That's what regardless of who we're playing, that's kind of what we always want to do. So that's the biggest takeaway from a few days ago. And obviously we got to make routine plays. Tom's going to be able to go out and throw strikes, and we feel like we put a good defense behind him. Just got to make routine plays and not give any extra outs to give us a chance today.
You mentioned about just the deep park. We were joking we should just call it the graveyard out in left center to right center field because it's very tough to get extra base hits and just how deep it is out there with where guys are playing. So does the approach, to your point, with batters change in terms of more line drive hits instead of maybe that uppercut swing to try to get one out of here, because there's been 12 games and haven't had a round tripper yet here, Nate?
Right. I think Caden Loyland's lost a few that have been routine fly balls. So you know what, the nice part for us, a unique experience, is our left center field is also our football field. So it's not like we're not used to it. We got a field and we got a fence in right field, so at our place. But no, I mean, anytime that you're preaching line drives, I mean, that's what the good teams have to do. You got to have two. Got to put the ball in play with 2 strikes. Got to have two out hitting, clutch 2 out hitting, and we need that today. But the approach is hit balls hard, and that's trying to simplify it as much as you can for these kids, and not to get frustrated if you are hitting balls hard, if you making good contact and a hard fly ball that gets caught, keep that same approach, and it's a millimeters difference in a line drive and a fly ball, and that's frustrating part about baseball sometimes, but also it helps last night when Gimmel puts one, and speaking of millimeters, it's on the line there. So it's a blessing and a curse, I suppose.
Last question for you, just taking a look at Thomas Schumacher against the approach here of Garrison on the mound. Just what have you taken away from that first time when Garrison did put the ball in play, and anything different, or is it just let Tom be Tom today?
Yeah, Tom's gonna, like I said, he's gonna go out and throw strikes. He likes to mix it up a little bit. He knows how to pitch. He's been in these moments, and you know what? We're going with a guy that's been there and done that. A lot of experience, whether that's on the mound or just in a Monday of a Legion State tournament. He's been here, so you live off that experience, and we're giving our best chance to win here.
Nate Solis, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck here today.
Thanks, Chase.
Nate Solis, head coach of the Thompson Tommies. This interview brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank. We're back with more after this here in Lisbon.
In agriculture, the one thing you can count on is uncertainty. What if the GPS short circuits in your tractor? Do you have equipment breakdown coverage? Nodak Insurance has been insuring farmers and ranchers for over 70 years, and we've come across about every scenario you can imagine. Hi, I'm Chris Moen, your agent with answers at Nodak Insurance Company. I know insurance, I know North Dakota, and I might even know you. Call me today for details on how we can protect your farming operation at 757-1613.
That does it for our pregame show, brought to you in part by Chris Moe, Nodak Insurance Company, your agent with answers in Grand Forks and Nelson County. Get in contact with Chris Moe at Nodak Insurance Company. Chase Miller, Brent Dick with you as those interviews here today in Lisbon are brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank, sharing their heritage and their future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. Go to dhb.bank. A little bit different of weather conditions here today in Lisbon. It's not really hot. It's not really humid. Overcast skies, a little bit of wind. As it currently stands right now, it's in the low 80s, and we will get a smidgen of a wind, not as much as yesterday as it stands right now. Thompson will be the visitors on the scoreboard in their white uniforms with the green numerals, while for Garrison, they'll be the home team in their red numerals, the red tops with the blue numerals, with the blue trim, with the gray pants. We're going to take a quick break, and we come back after this. We'll get to our starting lineups and the opening pitch here from LFT Field at Sandager Park in Lisbon, North Dakota. Winner has a date with Grafton in the State B Championship here on YourLiveVet.com.
From on-site farm repairs to maintaining the condition of your vehicle, trust the staff at Welton's Tire Service. They've served the Lisbon area since 1972, guaranteeing customer satisfaction and workmanship from farm equipment, tire services, and preventative vehicle maintenance. You'll find it all, from affordable prices, free estimates, to their knowledgeable technicians answering any question. Welton's Tire Service is locally owned and located on Main Street in Lisbon. For information, go online to weltonstire.net or call 701-683-5136.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
Benedictine Living Community in Lemoore has job openings for the following positions: RN, LPN, CNA, and Activities Assistant. To apply or receive more information, scan the QR code now on screen or call 701-883-5363. That's 701-883-5363 for job opportunities at Benedictine Living Community in Lemoore.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions today and beyond with the Drain Tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yield and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Emery Vistos Implement has been family-owned and operated since 1935. Located in Oaks, North Dakota, they sell CarQuest automotive parts and numerous lines of agriculture parts. Plus, you'll have to stop by and check out their clothing and footwear department, featuring the brands of Brothers in Arms, Howitzer, Ariat, Cinch, and Twisted X Footwear. Emery Vistos Implement, everything and anything you need is under one roof. Stop in just south of Oaks on Highway 1 or call 701-742-2167. Now time to get to our starting lineups, brought to you in part by American Crystal Sugar Company. Live the sweet life with great careers, quality products, grower owned. That's crystalsugar.com. Eli Gemmel will be batting in the leadoff spot, the third baseman here for Thompson, followed by Dex Ovdam. Ovdam, the starting shortstop, will be batting second. Tom Schumacher will be on the mound. He'll be batting third with Caden Loyland batting in the cleanup role here for the right fielder. Jeremy Tice, the center fielder, batting fifth with Mac Michelson. Michelson, the left fielder, he'll be batting sixth. Cooper Larson will be batting seventh at DH, followed by Jacob Olson at second base. Eli Schumacher, the first baseman, and Grady Loyland. Loyland will be behind the mound after being on the bump a little bit the last couple of days here for Thompson. While out in the outfield here for Garrison, Yoakum in left field with Eigelhart in center. Nordstrom in right with Roberts over at first base here for Garrison. From there, you got Skachenko at second base, Seidler at shortstop, Coble at third, Emmett Legge behind the plate, and Grady Crawford is going to be taking the mound. That's a look at our starting lineups. Coaches of Gage Gehring of Garrison and Thompson. Head coach is Nate Solis, brought to you in part by American Crystal Sugar Company. As we get to the opening pitch here in our final elimination game of the state tournament, at 1:31 will be the opening pitch as Crawford will take his second appearance on the mound, and we're off and rolling. First pitch, one hit swinging. This one gets popped up in the air to short center field, and Eigelhart calling everybody off. Makes the play. Eli Gemmel's retired on one pitch, and there's one down here to open up this contest.
Yeah, Eigelhart out there put the horse on the gallop, and he covered a lot of ground out there getting that. That was shallow right center. Good catch.
As now Eli Gemmel is 5 for 11 in the tournament. Dex Ovdam 5 of 14 with a run scored so far here in the tournament. As for Garrison as a team, pitching 19 and 2/3 innings, 24 hits, 21 runs, 11 of those earned with 9 walks and 21 strikeouts so far here in Lisbon for Garrison. Here's the 1-0 as Dex will take a called strike. It's 1-1. Thompson batting a team average of 292 so far here in Lisbon. 15 runs scored with 12 runs driven in. As the 1-1, this one will be swing and a miss. It's 1-2. One thing Nate Solis is talking about, timely hitting and 2-out hitting will maybe be the difference here for Thompson. They just haven't had a lot of 2-out runs driven in so far here in Lisbon. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, that'll miss. It's 2-2. Now for Garrison, that was their first Class B competition loss all season, was yesterday against Grafton. Otherwise, it was against Castleton, the Haymakers, and the Minot Metros for their previous 3 losses. Is this going to be a ground ball? Mind you, those 3 losses were by a combined 4 runs. That's the first time they got 10-run ruled all season. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Dex having a nice at-bat right now, seeing how far he can go against Grady Crawford. Crawford, righty-lefty matchup as Dex shoots one in the air down the left field line, foul, and will continue it at 2-2. What has impressed you so far about Dex here at the plate, Brent? We'll see him at shortstop, but what have you liked about his catching performance so far?
Oh, yeah, just solid behind the plate. Does a good job picking pitches that normally get by a catcher. Just an all-around great catcher.
As we get another foul ball brought to you in part by Olson Accounting. If you need help with your monthly accounting or payroll services, go to colsoncpa.com here in Lisbon. As Dex, it's what you call a big league at-bat. 1 pitch, 1 out from your leadoff batter, and Dex, he'll be seeing pitch number 9 of the at-bat upcoming here for Dex Ovdam. Payoff pitch upcoming for Crawford on the 3-2, and Dex earns a walk. Nice walk there for Dex. Thompson gets their first batter aboard here as Dex will take his way to second base. Now the pitcher and Tom Schumacher will step up to the plate. Schumacher here in the tournament, 3 for 11 with 2 runs scored and 2 runs driven in, but he can get going with him and Tice at 3 and 4. That can be a very potent lineup here for Thompson. Dex being held on by Roberts over at first base, and we've seen him steal a couple of bases so far here in Lisbon, as there's going to be a bunt attempt, takes the bump back, doesn't hit. So Dex will make his way to second base and stand there. Always the interesting one as a catcher, right? You see that batter going to bunt, takes it back, no foul tip, and that'll be a pass ball here for Emmett Legge. As Dex will take second base, 1 ball, no strikes here to Schumacher with Caden Loyland due up next, and then you got Tice after that for that 3, 4, and 5 spot. 1-0 will run up and in. It's now 2-0. What makes it difficult as a catcher, Brent, when you see someone bunting and then at the last second they take that bat back?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just obstructing your concentration and your vision there. Got a lob and movement in front of the plate you're not used to.
As Crawford takes a long look at Dex. 2-0 pitch that'll run into it off the glove, and Dex stays put at second base. He took a step, then kind of paused, and once you pause, like a deer in the headlights, you're not going to make your way down to third, as it's now 3-0. But fortunate for Garrison that Dex didn't scamper off that potential pitch from Emmett Leahy, unable to catch it from Crawford. Pitch count at 14 here in the first inning. Running away, and it's not going to make a difference. Going to third base will be Dex. So runners at the corners right now, thanks in part to a walk and a couple of pass balls here from Emmett Leahy. This is the small things Thompson can do, right? They haven't put the ball in play yet in terms of a hit, but they got runners at first and third right now with one down with Caden Loyland digging in. Loyland, 4 for 10 so far in the tournament with 2 runs driven in here for Thompson. As Crawford right now having to work out of a little jam here in the top of the first inning. The pitch. This one will be another pass ball off the glove of Emmett Leahy. Coming in to score will be Dex off them. Big turnaround second. On his way to third, here's Tom Schumacher. He will slide in safely. It's off his glove. The left fielder, Yoakum, can't back it up quick enough. And Thompson, it's the small ball variety on a Monday afternoon. They lead it 2-0 on another pass ball. And going first to home is Tom Schumacher.
Yeah, it looks like a mound visit out there now with Leahy going out there talking to Crawford. They're going to have to work something out because this is just eating them up right now.
Yeah, you got 3 of them that have completely gone to the backstop, and Thompson has fully taken advantage. And again, they have yet to have a hit as it's 2-0 as it stands. And then on the throwing error to third base will allow Schumacher to come in and score as well. So a death by 1,000 paper cuts early here from a Garrison perspective. As Loyland hits one on the ground, and that'll be the first base hit of the contest. Brought to you in part by Chris Moan with Nodak Insurance Company. Good piece of hitting there by Loyland as he gets aboard here for Thompson. At Chris Moan, you can't prevent hits, but he can help after life's curveballs. Chris Moan, your agent with answers in Grand Forks and Nelson County. And we were talking about what does Thompson baseball look like, Brent? And I think 4 batters in, we know what Thompson baseball looks like.
Yeah, good piece of base running so far.
And Garrison, they find themselves trailing here 2-love early. Crawford able to find the strike zone. It's 0-1 to Jeremy Tice. Earlier in the tournament, in the 1-0 matchup, Garrison defeated Thompson 5-1, but Thompson bobbled the ball around in that game for about 5-6 errors. Pick play. Coming back is Loyland. Tice so far in the tournament, 3 of 13, but he has barreled up a lot that have just died in left center field. A run scored with a run driven in. Crawford with the leg kick. This will be a high chopper up the third baseline foul. It's now 0-2. For your perspective, Brent, we saw Thompson pick up a win over Velva. A really good pitching duel there in that one between Tyson and Kittleson, 3-1. Bobble the ball around against Garrison, but this kind of looks like Thompson of yesterday coming back here on a Monday.
Yeah, definitely. And then this is what I picture when he talks about Thompson baseball.
As trying to get into second base, the throw, the tag, and he is out. Nice throw by Emmett Leahy as Seidler able to get there for the out. And a strike him out, throw him out, double play brought to you in part by Lamore Hardware. They carry your everyday items from plumbing, electrical, automotive, and more. Check out their sweet pickings section as well. That's Lamore Hardware at lamorehardware.com. So there's 2 in the top of the first for both teams. A double play, but 2 runs for Thompson. We'll continue with more after this.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 201 Main Street, Hunter.
Lamore Hardware carries your everyday items for plumbing, electrical, automotive, and more. Head to Lamore Hardware for in-store deals on Milwaukee tools and check out the new M18 Hot Shot Card Jumper Pack. And when you purchase certain Milwaukee M12 tools, receive a 2-amp battery for free. Plus, browse their Sweet Pickins section. You'll see brand new furniture and decor. Lamore Hardware is your community one-stop shop. For more information, go online to lamorehardware.com. That's lamorehardware.com.
As we come back on our coverage here, the State B Legion Baseball Tournament, time now for our American Crystal Sugar starting lineups here from the Garrison perspective, as they will go with Brody Seidler, Matt Yoakum, and Grady Crawford batting the top third. Middle third of Eigelhart, Roberts, and Coble. Then Emmett Leahy, Liam Crawford, and Skachenko with Nordstrom playing in right field. That's your starting lineups, brought to you in part by American Crystal Sugar Company. First pitch swinging, this one going to be hit on the ground. Ovdom playing shortstop today, able to fire it after he had the snow cone and nearly lost the cherry on top, and then able to make the play for the outs. First time we've seen Dex at shortstop because Schumacher normally plays shortstop, but with him pitching, he goes to the shortstop spot, which means got Grady Loyland now catching here, Brent, for Thompson.
Yeah, and that throw by him, that was just a rifle throw over to first base. The ball didn't waver at all.
As defensively, Michelson in left, Tyson center with Cade Loyland in right here for the Tommies. One pitch and one out. This one will be called a strike on the way. Matt Yoakum, Scott Carblum calling balls and strikes. Eric Olson up the third baseline. Michelle Krieger at first base for our umpire and crew here today. Good breaking ball called for a strike. It's now 0-2. Well, for Yoakum here in the tournament, 3 of 9 with 7 runs scored. He's earned a handful of walks as he puts one in play. Dex will glove it again. This time a better left to right in terms of the release. And he makes another play. Dex Ovdom, 2 outs here at shortstop.
Yeah, testing that spot early in this game there. New shortstop, but he's making the plays.
As now it goes to the pitcher, Grady Crawford, who's 2 for 8 with 4 runs scored and 2 runs driven in here this weekend as we work our way to now the weekday portion of the tournament, which means we're closer to delivering some hardware at some point. There's Tom Schumacher. He's got his full repertoire of 120 to work with. The same here with Grady Crawford today, so you don't have to worry about throwing 40 pitches, throwing 50, putting someone else in that only has 40. This one will be called a strike. It's 0-2. As Schumacher quickly works ahead here on Grady Crawford. 7th pitch of the inning. The 0-2 fouled back, and we'll do it all over again. Thompson in the second. We'll see Michelson, Cooper Lawrenson, and Jacob Olson do up. That's 6, 7, and 8 batters here for Thompson in the top of the second inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Schumacher with the leg kick. Breaking ball got him out in front. This one hops to the first baseman, Eli Schumacher. He'll take it unassisted to retire the side. A 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the first inning. We played 1 today on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Thompson 2 with Garrison scoreless.
Benedictine Living Community in Lemoore has job openings for the following positions: RN, LPN, CNA, and Activities Assistant. To apply or receive more information, scan the QR code now on screen or call 701-883-5363. That's 701-883-5363 for job opportunities at Benedictine Living Community in Lemoore.
Sharing our heritage, sharing our future. Choosing the right bank for your financial needs can be challenging with the many choices available. Dakota Heritage Bank is pleased you're interested in knowing more about what they can do for you. The Dakota Heritage Bank community bank setting is a strong advantage they have over larger, less personal banks. Customers are more than account numbers, they are friends and neighbors. Working together, Dakota Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
As we come back here, it's our S&T Quick Stop stolen bases throughout the course of the tournament are brought to you in part by S&T Quick Stop in Thompson. Food and fuel fast at S&T Quick Stop in Thompson. And for our stolen bases, as Thompson will look to add on to their 2-run lead as it stands right now here in the second. This one miss outside for a ball. Michelson will be coming up. 6 batter here in the lineup, the starting left fielder today for Thompson. 1-0 pitch going to be hit, and it takes a hop right to the third baseman. Coble fires across the diamond in time to Roberts, 5-3 on the putout. As for Michelson, now he's 2 of 11 in the tournament. Well, for Cooper Larson, he picked up the win yesterday against Lisbon. He's been batting 4 of 10 with a run scored and a run driven in. 1 down here in the second. As they stand now with Grady Crawford. Crawford sees this one elevated, missing for a ball. It's 1-0. Well, just kind of self-inflicted errors have been the name of the game, it seems like. If you have too many of them, not going to be having enough time, Brent, to come back in a particular game. Good news for Garrison. You did in the first inning, maybe then the 5th inning, but found yourself a little bit of a hole.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you dig yourself early, so hopefully they can stop that, get the ship back up, and put some runs on the board.
I just wonder if Emmett Lake and Grady Crawford had 1 or 2 mixed singles, just because there was a lot of different pass balls in that one between the two.
Yep.
2-1 pitch is going to be laced in the air to right, and this one will die in front of the right fielder. He'll come up throwing, and this one will be not in time. It's a single here for Cooper Larson, an opposite field single at that, and Thompson gets a runner on here in the second inning. Not a bad thought by Nordstrom. A better throw maybe gets him out, but able to get on base is Cooper Larson.
Yeah, the right frame of mind there with that fielding that going to first right away.
As they'll have Jacob Olson now. Olson does have a run scored and a run driven in here in the tournament. This one will go pop up and foul. It's 0 for 1. Bottom of the lineup looking to provide a little pop here for Thompson and be some table sitters with Eli Schumacher due up next, and back to top of the lineup with Eli Gemmel. Here's the 0-1 upcoming from Crawford. Takes the look. Runner stays put. This one will one hop, and well, that one's on the pitcher there for Crawford, as that'll be a wild pitch, and taking second base will be Cooper Larson. So 1 ball and 1 strike, as that one literally just spiked right into the ground. A good 5-8 feet almost in front of home plate.
Yeah, the catcher couldn't do anything about that one.
Now, if you're Thompson, this is very similar to what they did, though, in the first inning. Got a guy on and able to move him around with the wild pitch or a pass ball. Is this going to be hit in the air? A high, towering fly into right center. This one will split the gap. Rounding first will be Olson. He's on his way to second. Coming on in to score is Larson. Here's the relay. It's an RBI double here for Jacob Olson, and Thompson takes a 3-0 lead. Larson comes in to score. Olson with the first extra base hit of the afternoon, and on doing so, drives in Cooper Larson. So a single and a double here for Thompson in the second inning so far. As Eli Schumacher, the first baseman, will dig in, and Thompson right now rolling early here on that Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard as Schumacher hits one up the first base side. That'll go foul. Schumacher with 2 runs driven in so far in the tournament, batting 2 for 10 with a run scored. As right now at second base is Jacob Olson. That was one of the better swings we've seen in the gap, either to left or right, Brent, because some of the times it sounds good, but then it just dies in right center field here this weekend, and all of a sudden that one able to split.
Yeah, coaches just talk, just go out there and hit the ball hard. Good things will happen.
As quickly working ahead now is Crawford. No balls and 2 strikes to Eli. The 0-2. This will be laced right back up, shading him to shortstop Seidler, making a good throw across the diamond. Seidler trying to keep the runner and Olson close to second base, so he's already kind of shaded up the middle, and will able to make the play, and there's 2 down. Now to Eli Gemmel, who had that bunt that was right on the line yesterday. And Nate Solis talked about how baseball can be cruel by a game of inches sometimes, and sometimes it works in your favor and sometimes it doesn't. No balls and a strike here for Eli, who flew out on 1 pitch to the center fielder his last time up in the first. And this one's going to get well by the catcher coming on in, and Thompson takes a 4-0 lead. And another wild pitch, and now it's 1-1 as Crawford has been wild here in this contest. And at times I don't think it's all on Crawford, but here in the second inning, a couple that have bounced well in front of home plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. As Gemmel hits a chopper to the third baseman, Coble. Coble flips it across, and he will airmail that one. Is going to first base, not a second, will be Gemmel. Gemmel reached base on the throwing error by Coble. And right now for Garrison, this is starting to look a little too familiar from the Grafton game yesterday, Brent, in terms of just self-inflicted errors as Thompson looking to take full advantage so far with 4 runs across.
Yeah, just, like you're talking about, just kind of reminiscent. These guys just got to settle down. And so far, no coach going out there to, to try to calm things down. So just going to let them play on.
As Dex will come up now here for Thompson. First pitch swinging, hits it off the end of the bat. Another chance here for Coble. Coble comes up firing in time by a half step for the out. 5-3 on the put-up, but 2 runs come across on a pair of hits, an error and a runner left on base. New score on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Thompson 4, Garrison scoreless.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Hit your finances right out of the park with Olson Accounting in Lisbon. Whether you're a farmer, small business owner, or individual taxpayer, Olson Accounting delivers professional financial services you can count on. Olson Accounting wishes the best to all teams in the State B Legion Tournament. Don't strike out with your finances. Step up to the plate with Olson Accounting, located at 210 Main Street in Lisbon, or call 701-683-2700.
And this is the State B Legion Tournament on your live event. Chase Miller, Brent Dick with you here. Brent, you take a look through, and obviously you have some time to get back in the swing of things here, but you just can't let this snowball, so to speak, into anything bigger.
Yeah, the coach is just going to have to get in there, get inside their ear, get them calmed down, and, get these players back out there, play some good defense, talk to his pitcher.
Eigelhart, Roberts, and Coble do up 4, 5, and 6 batters here against Tom Schumacher. Schumacher delivers a strike. It's now 0-2. Take a look at Eigelhart so far, what he's been able to do for Garrison. 5 of 10 with 3 runs scored and 7 runs driven in here in the tournament. The 0-2 hit. That'll go to Dex. Waits back on it. Takes a good hop. Fires across. In time? Yes. They're going to say yes. The tag was made here by Eli Schumacher. Dex did a good job waiting for that one. Threw a missile over the first baseman, but Schumacher came off the bag and applied the tag there, Brent.
Yep, Schumacher did a good job. I mean, he saved potentially another, taking another base on that. So did a good job. Had to come off the bag, but made the tag.
As Eigelhart is retired, Gage Roberts, the first baseman batting 5th, will dig in now. As Tom Schumacher sees this go foul, it's 0-1. Cooper Coble, then Emmett Legge again if Garrison can get aboard. So far, Schumacher, 12 pitches, 11 pitches for 4 outs, but he'll have his 13th here upcoming. As this one misses, now 1-1. A little cooler today here in Lisbon. It feels like you're on a lakefront shore, with what we've been able to see after the weekend was hot and sticky and humid. The 1-1. Towering pop-up. This one will go to the left fielder. Michelson comes in, has it measured, and retired is Roberts, just on a handful of pitches. What have you liked from Schumacher so far here, Brent, in terms of 4 groundouts? That's the first one that's left the infield here today.
Yeah, just kind of alluded to, he's inducing outs and just real consistent on the mound. So just good, good speed out there on the mound as far as getting the pitches delivered and real consistent.
Coble does have a win here in the tournament on the mound so far, 1 of 7 at the plate with 2 runs driven in. Here's the 0-1 by Schumacher. Swing and a miss. It's now 0-2, and I really haven't had to say a ball 1 barely any, much less we haven't said ball 2 here with Schumacher. I mean, it's right away strike 1.
Yep. And Larson did the same thing yesterday on the mound. Did a good job working ahead of the batters.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, got him out in front to the third baseman, Gemmel. Little roller, Gemmel quickly across the diamond in time. Another 3-up, 3-down inning here for Schumacher as we play 2 complete on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. It's Thompson 4, Garrison scoreless as we make our way to the top of the 3rd inning.
Let's talk about price. Yeah, we've heard it. Why would I pay more for Polar when Big Wireless is cheaper? Let's break it down. With us, you're not on hold with someone who's 3 states away. Your call goes to Kimberly, or Ashley, or Tamra, someone who lives right here. When your internet's down, we're not mailing you out a box. We're sending a real person, someone that knows your name and probably your dog's name too. So yeah, we're not the cheapest. We're the best experience. Polar Communications.
Riverside Building Center in Lisbon is the premier building supply headquarters in southeastern North Dakota. They have it from the basic home improvements to complete pre-built homes. Their staff is knowledgeable in every product they sell. With their large inventory and a fleet of 6 delivery vehicles, Riverside Building Center in Lisbon can bring the products to your job site. From a hammer all the way to a home, they have you covered. Visit rbclisbon.com today. That's rbclisbon.com. Riverside Building Center in Lisbon.
As we come back here on the top of the 3rd inning on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard, sharing their heritage and their future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota, go to dhb.bank. Chase Miller alongside Brent Dick with you here in Lisbon. If you're just joining us, we'll get to our game update here at some point, but right now with how this game is moving along and how these guys are kind of getting ready to swing at the first pitch, you better be on your toes just that. Right back up the middle. Seidler will have a chance for it, makes the good throw across the diamond. Schumacher is retired on 1 pitch, and there's 1 down. I've seen Thompson, though, throughout the course of the tournament, Brent, come up and be ready to swing on the first at-bat. There is some mentalities of letting an at-bat develop, working the count, but the other philosophy is the best pitch you might see might be the first pitch of the at-bat as this one goes foul.
Yeah, and that, the first game against Garrison, they took some shots defensively early, and that maybe, just kind of silenced the bats in that game a little bit. But, man, they're really on it today.
Caden Loyland has another foul ball brought to you in part by Olson Accounting. If you need help with your monthly accounting or payroll services and tax season, but that's a few months away, go to colsoncpa.com. That's colsoncpa.com. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Crawford gets the punch out. That'll be his first since the end of the first inning on a strike him out, throw him out, and Loyland is retired for the 2nd out. Now Grafton awaits the winner of this game. They're in the catbird seat. They got to get beat today and tomorrow to not win a championship. It could happen, but they're in the driver's seat, so to speak, that they can take care of business is what they're hoping to today. As Tice pops one up. This will go to Seidler. Seidler's there, and there's a 3-up, 3-down for the first time here for Crawford on the mound. Well, that didn't take long.
No.
4 pitches for 3 outs as we go to the bottom of the 3rd here on yourliveevent.com.
Wallach Johnson Insurance is your friendly neighborhood team of qualified insurance professionals celebrating over 40 years of service. As an experienced independent insurance agency, they have access to highly rated insurance companies and can shop around to find you an affordable solution for farm, crop, business, home, and auto insurance. Visit them at one of their locations in Lisbon, Winter, or Rutland and get a free quote started today. For more information, go to nd-insure.com.
Show your Bronco pride everywhere you go with the Bronco Spirit Card from American Bank and Trust in Lisbon, featuring the official Lisbon Bronco mascot logo. The Bronco Spirit Card lets you support Lisbon Public Schools every time you make a purchase. With each swipe of your Bronco Spirit Card, American Bank and Trust donates a percentage back to the school district to help fund projects of their choice. Stop by American Bank and Trust in Lisbon today and ask about the Bronco Spirit Card. Locally owned, community focused, Bronco proud, member FDIC.
Chase Miller alongside Brent Dick with you, broadcasting from the Wallach Johnson Insurance Agency broadcast booth. Professional insurance service with a personal touch. Locations in Lisbon, Winter, and Rutland. Go online to nd-insure.com. That's nd-insure.com, as that's an excuse me check swing here for Emmett Leahy to open up the 3rd inning. Batter number 7 here for Garrison in the lineup. Leahy 1 of 9 with a run scored here today. The 0-1, that'll miss. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, we've had a 1-ball count for Tom Schumacher. We haven't had a 2 or 3-ball count yet. That's why he only has 20 pitches. And, well, that one will be a 2-ball count. It's now 2-1. Took him 17 pitches to get 6 outs. I mean, that is really good law of average. As the 2-1 offering here from Schumacher. Swing and a miss, now 2-2. Schumacher, 2 innings of work so far, and it's been a couple of 3-up, 3-down innings on top of it. A 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, that'll miss now 3-2. Well, Crawford got going there in the 3rd inning. Garrison, though, now has to figure out the puzzle that's named Schumacher. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Pop up. Got this one in the air to center field. Tyson alongside Michelson's there, and Tyson will give way to Michelson in the alley for the out, and then there's 1 down. So to Liam Crawford here, the designated hitter for the Titans. Crawford looking for his first base hit here of the tournament. 0 for 1 so far. As he'll look to get on base some way, somehow. That's what Garrison's looking to do. Try to find their first base runner of the game as there's a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Schumacher has pretty much just been able to work and fire and throw like we see it here, 1-1. Not too much difference between what his stretch and windup would be, Brent, with how he kind of locates on the mound.
Yep.
The 1-1 pitch, missing up high ball. So we get back-to-back, at least 2 ball counts here from a Garrison batter, but again, put the ball in play, but a lot of ground outs so far here this afternoon. Breaking ball called a strike as Crawford was going down to a knee, now 2-2.
Yeah, his pace is just real consistent there, like you're talking about. Doesn't matter if it's a stretch or the windup. He's got a game plan in mind.
2-2. That'll miss at the letters. It's now 3-2. You can just tell, right? You're ready to go if you're an infielder behind him. You know he's not going to waste too much time in between pitches.
Yep.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled off, brought to you in part by Olson Accounting. So longest at bat here for a Titan batter against Schumacher. This will be pitch number 7 upcoming. Another payoff offering here for Schumacher. Fastball missing low, and there goes the perfect game as Liam Crawford will take first base. So first base runner here for Garrison, but it took till the bottom of the 3rd to get one. Now it's can they continue to add to it with Mason coming up. Skachenko's done a nice job here in the number 9 hole. 4 for 8 with 3 runs scored and a run driven in. So this is a guy who has put the ball in play here for Garrison this weekend now. Trying to do it in the week. Skachenko will take a strike. It's 0-1. And here's where you get to see Schumacher work a little bit from the stretch. And outside of just maybe a little step back, it's about the same from what the windup is. There's Schumacher. Looks at the runner at first. The pitch. This one will be fouled off and works ahead now 0-2. And back to the top of the lineup with Brody Seidler, who grounded out earlier here in the 1st inning to the shortstop, and Dax Ovdam. Grafton's here just hanging out down the left field line, kind of waiting to see who they'll play a little bit later on here in that championship. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Schumacher gets the strikeout. That'll be his first strikeout here of the afternoon, and first time through the lineup card. 1 over the minimum. 2 2/3. No hits, a walk, and 1 strikeout. And sometimes you see a guy put a lot of zeros on the board, and you say, well, there's been a ton of strikeouts, Brent. That has not been the case today.
Yeah, no, defense down there with Ovdam and over 3rd with Gemmel doing a good job.
Seidler coming up. He will take just off the table. It's now 1-0. Seidler and 1 pitch grounded out to the aforementioned Dax Ovdam at shortstop as he had the first 2 outs, and he had 3 of the first 4 outs all on ground balls.
Yep.
Taking his leave off of first base is Crawford. We have seen Garrison steal here in the tournament. Crawford gets back a little bit close, is able to get back safely. It's now 1-0.
Yeah, it was the throw over, made that close. Good, really, really good spot on the throw.
As Schumacher, see if he peaks again or comes home. He'll come home. 1-0, that'll miss. Now 2-0. Well, after not having 1 2-ball count in the 1st or the 2nd inning, this would be the 3rd Garrison batter with at least a 2-ball count here against Schumacher. Also, the pitches going from about 17 to double here in 1 inning of what he's thrown in the 1st and 2nd combined, as this will be his 36th pitch of the contest. Now run in, now 3-0, and on the verge of walking his second batter. 3 balls, no strikes as Matt Yoakum hoping he has a chance here in the bottom of the 3rd inning for Garrison due up next. Take all the way? Yes, and that's a 4-pitch walk. Second free pass of the inning, and now all of a sudden 1 hit here by Garrison. Make it a 4-1, maybe a 4-2 ball game with Matt Yoakum, who grounded out his last time up. Well, trying to find a way to disrupt the pitcher, and that's what they're doing a little bit here, Brent, now with a couple of walks.
So, just they're taking him out of his rhythm a little bit, just with the time in the box and getting a sign over there from the coach. So off his rhythm just a little bit here, Schumacher.
Seidler at first base. Now Liam Crawford jaunts over to second as he takes his leave. Schumacher. Breaking ball, that'll miss. Now 1-0. So 5 consecutive pitches out of the zone here for Tom Schumacher. Grady Crawford, the pitcher, due up on the on-deck circle and hoping to have a chance here with that least bases loaded. And he would be then the tying run coming up to the plate as well. Here's the 1-0. That'll be called a strike now, 1-1. Pitch number 40 upcoming. Both pitchers here would have 40, with Grady Crawford having 40 through 2 innings of work for the Titans. Playing even with the bag at third is Gemmel. Playing behind the runner at first is Schumacher. Here's the 1-1. Work now 2-1, and that breaking ball now just not located as we saw in the first and the second.
Yeah.
Outfield pretty much playing straight away here, and then you got your middle infielders playing their normal depth with Obdam and Olsen up the middle. Olsen trying to keep that runner close to second. Schumacher with a 2-1. Fastball foul tipped. It's now 2-2. Winner of this game has Grafton. Then, if needed, you would play tomorrow at 1:30 as well, but you have to win this game to have a chance to tame Grafton. The 2-2. There's the breaking ball hitting the air, and that could spell trouble. That's down for a base hit as that one will go to right center field. Making the play is Caden Moylan. Runners will go up 180 feet. It's an RBI single for Matt Yoakum here, and Garrison gets on the board. That's their first hit of the game as well here for Garrison, brought to you in part by Chris Moe, Nodak Insurance Company. So Liam Crawford comes in to score. As going first to third is Seidler, and Yoakum gets the run driven in.
Yeah, Schumacher really cooking along, and now it just seems like they put the brakes on him and struggling a little bit out there, and base hits now starting for Garrison.
Now with 2 outs, see what the play is on, as well as now the tying run, and Grady Crawford comes up. Crawford will take a strike. It's 0-1. So a 1-out walk comes in to score. Now can a 2-out walk possibly come in to score with Seidler at third base? Didn't have to hit it much there for Matt Yoakum, an opposite field single, but a good spot. Runners are off and running with 2 down. As we head back here with our camera, taking a look at where the placement is with the third baseman over up at third base there, with Gemmel trying to keep that runner close. Even with 2 outs, Brent, why do you do that as a third baseman, trying to keep that runner close over at third?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what Lisbon did, whether you got a sacrifice bunt or a squeeze or whatever you got on, or a forced balk play, you just want to keep him close over there.
Well, there's the 1-2 and staying put at first.
Kind of a first to third there, or a third to first, I should say.
And Schumacher trying to see if he can keep that secondary runner maybe leaning just a little bit and get a free out to get out of the inning. Garrison has put the ball in play today. Like we said, they didn't have a ton of strikeouts against Schumacher. They're just finding gloves. So law of average would say sooner or later they would find the alley a little bit and some grass, and they finally do. That's Crawford. Grounded out to the first baseman, Eli Schumacher, to end the first inning. Well, 7 consecutive batters were retired. It was a perfect game through 2 1/3 until that walk there from Liam Crawford earlier here in the inning. The 1-1. Good breaking ball. That's probably the best breaking ball of the inning so far for Schumacher. It's 1-2. Runner at first base again is Matt Yoakum. Runner at third is Seidler. Schumacher looking for his second punch out. The 1-2. As this, that'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Loyland behind the plates. Garrison with 1 run across, but can they cut into that deficit right now? As a timely 2-out hit got a runner in, looking for a second timely 2-out hit to see if they can bring that second run in as well and cut that deficit in half. The 2-2. Breaking ball will miss. Now 3-2. And this is our fourth 3-ball count here for Schumacher in the inning, which now he's just under 50 pitches. Mind you, he's thrown 30 pitches here in the inning so far for Schumacher. 3-2 hit, and this one will get by the runner. He was able to allay it, but right to Olsen regardless. Good job by Yoakum, showing his best dance moves. But a run does come in on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left. New score on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. It's 4-1 in favor of Thompson on yourlivevent.com.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Say goodbye to discomfort and say hello to reaching your full potential. At Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness, our diverse team of experts has your back in any phase of life. From the warm, friendly greeting to connecting with your therapist, Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness is the backbone of your health. High-quality care with a personal touch. Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness.
As we come back for a Bank North in-game update here, Thompson 2 runs in the first inning, 2 runs in the second as well. They did it on just 1 hit in the first and got an RBI delivered here by Jacob Olsen, but it's been kind of Garrison with the wild pitches and the pass balls that allowed Thompson to score a handful of their runs. Garrison gets a run back in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Thompson 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Well, for Garrison, 1 run, 1 hit, and 2 errors. That's our in-game update brought to you in part by Bank North. Go to banknorth.bank. This one will be in there for a strike. As it's Michelson, Larson, and Olsen. 6, 7, and 8 batters due up here for Thompson. The 1-1 by Crawford. Crawford coming off his first 1-2-3 inning where he has retired the last 4 batters. And of the last 6 batters, he's been able to make plays like that here on the mound with Crawford flipping it over. And gets Michelson out quickly on 4 pitches, 1-3 on the putout, and there's 1 down. And really, for Grady Crawford, Brent, outside the wild pitches and the pass balls, he's pitched pretty well against this Thompson.
Yeah, looked good right there. So just a couple of bumpy first 2 innings there.
As there's 1 down, top of the 4th inning, as Crawford will see this one with the leg kick. And he will deliver a strike, gets 0-1. Cooper Larson with a single and a run scored as he's got 1 run scored so far here today. Larson will take for a ball. It's now 1-1. It's Thompson 19-9 coming into this game. Garrison 35-4. Played a lot of baseball this season for the Titans. This one goes through the zone. Yes, he did, says Krieger up the first base side. It's now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes as Crawford starting to hum a little bit right now on the mound. 1-2 pitch, foul back, and we'll keep it alive. 1-2 yet again here, brought to you in part by Olsen Accounting. State A Legion Baseball Tournament wrapping up today in Williston as well. The Fargo Jets and Devils Lake Storm playing in the State A Championship. 1-2, hit off the end of the bat. Third baseman Coble comes in, has time, and makes the play. 5-3 on the putout, and there's 2 down. Jacob Olsen split the gap in right center field his last time up, had the double with a run driven in, eventually came in to score as well in the 2nd inning. Crawford with his 50th pitch, and that one will be called a strike. It's 0-1. As Crawford looks back in, works ahead, the 0-1 pitch. This one will go well foul towards the campgrounds. It's now 0-2 as the right fielder, Nordstrom, lost his footing and took a divot out in right field a little bit as he's trying to put on the brakes. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And Olsen is retired. 3rd strikeout here for Crawford on the mound. We're halfway complete here in the State Legion Baseball contest between Garrison and Thompson. It's Thompson up by 3.
It's safe to say we have it pretty good in the Drayton, North Dakota area. Growing sugar beets, making sugar, bringing a little sweetness to the world. Every day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet products people love in a place we love to call home. It's a thing we like to call the sweet life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility wants you to enjoy the events in the communities of our area. Here's to living the sweet life. American Crystal Sugar, Drayton.
In agriculture, the one thing you can count on is uncertainty. What if the GPS short circuits in your tractor? Do you have equipment breakdown coverage? Nodak Insurance has been insuring farmers and ranchers for over 70 years, and we've come across about every scenario you can imagine. Hi, I'm Chris Moen, your agent with answers at Nodak Insurance Company. I know insurance, I know North Dakota, and I might even know you. Call me today for details on how we can protect your farming operation at 757-1613.
As we come back here from Lisbon Fire Department Field at Sandager Park with a throwdown, bottom of the 4th inning, our bracket update. Well, not too much more of a bracket on the 4th day of a tournament that you have to really worry about. Winner this game moves on and plays Grafton in the championship to follow. Loser this game is done. If you win this game, you still need to win 2 in a row to win the championship and try to force a winner-take-all game tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 right here in Lisbon. That is our bracket breakdown brought to you in part by Hunter Insurance. Get in contact with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency by going online to hunterinsuranceagency.com. 1 ball, no strikes here as the Titans will see this one hit up the third base line. Going to be a tough play for Gemmel. Gemmel comes on, fires across, and this one will be a hit on the way, infield hit. As going to beat it was going to be Eigelhart as he stays put over at first base. Eigelhart was going to beat the throw regardless on that one. If he would have went to second, would have been able to see that on the air. So Eigelhart able to reach base. That was a tough play for Gemmel right off the end of the bat there, Brent.
Yeah, not much speed on that hit, and charged on it, just wasn't able to make the clean throw.
Would have been close at first base, but by the time the throw came, Eigelhart had his foot on the bag. And then, fortunate for Thompson, though, with that throw, that he only stays at first instead of going to second.
Yep. Yeah, he was trying to turn the corner and head to second and just wiped out.
So Gage Roberts now 1-0, and something Garrison couldn't do in the first or second inning was get base runners on. Well, they got base runners on last half inning, did play to run, and a good way to start the bottom of the 4th. We're midway through this State B Legion contest. Foul ball. It's now 1-1. Kind of has that semifinal. It's an elimination game, but again, you know you're moving to the championship. These two teams played earlier in the tournament, 5-1 back on Saturday. Garrison able just to take advantage of a handful of errors in that game and got the timely hit when needed. As we get a time called. Now, what ended up happening is Garrison played one less game than Thompson after Thompson came back through the losers bracket yesterday. Runner at first. Schumacher from the stretch. 1-1 pitch, popped him up, jammed him. Dext and Gemmel are over there. Gemmel will make the play in fair territory. Gage Roberts is retired on an infield pop-out, and there's one down. And going back into that game, a couple of runs driven in by Eigelhart and Roberts apiece, but again, 2 of the 5 runs driven in, which shows you just some errors against Coble. 7 innings of work in that 4-hitter, 1 run, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts, Brent. He was really efficient.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Pitched a great game.
1 down with a runner on as now it goes to the aforementioned Coble coming up to the plate. Coble will take a strike at 0-1. Then he had Caden Loyland, who was pitching well. Then he took that comebacker off the arm. He had 4 batters on strikeouts, Brent. Then all of a sudden, everything kind of changed after that a little bit.
Yeah, it was just, defensively, Thompson took those hits, weren't able to recover. So, you just have to come up with a different game plan after that.
Gemmel was the lone batter to drive in a run for Thompson in that 5-1 loss against Garrison earlier in the tournament. Runners in a breakdown for second base. The throw isn't in time. Ooh, That was tight. The
Yeah.
second baseman, Holston, came in, but something they did, feet slide instead of sliding head slide here, Brent, and taking that stolen base is Eigelhart.
Yep. Yeah, you got the feet hanging up. That might have been a tag on the foot.
S&T Quick Stop, stolen base, and Thompson Food and Fuel Fast at S&T Quick Stop. 4-1 your score here, and Titans now threatening again here in the fourth. This one will be hit. Dex Obdam has to make the play deep in the hole. Look at the play by Obdam. They get the out there. Schumacher will not throw across the diamond. That's a big league play deep in the hole here for Dex Obdam.
Yeah, we saw him miss, on one throw earlier, but that was a great glove work over there, and then just a great throw.
Also, he did not look at the runner at second. He knew what he wanted to do once he put that foot in the turf.
Yeah, and he just let her go, let her buck.
On Dex Obdam showing you he can be just as equally good of a shortstop as he is a catcher. Also, he can pitch. This one is laced down the line. Fair! Down the third base line. Coming in to score will be Eigelhart. Rounding first with an RBI single is Emmett Legge. And Eric Olson had the best view in the seat in the park on that one. That's a fair ball. And Garrison gets a run back here in the fourth inning.
Yeah, Coach Solis talked a game of millimeters, and that was one of those shots.
Eigelhart comes in to score from third base as we get a courtesy runner coming in. That'll be Grant Legge, and then Emmett will get the run driven in as well. So Garrison with a run across in the third, a run across in the fourth, and just like that, back in this ball game with a tie and run with Liam Crawford at the plate. That was a hard hit by Emmett Legge as well. Just sounded good.
Yep.
So 2 down here. Tie and run comes to the plate. This one will be called a strike. It's 0-1. Well, it's changed here for Garrison, Brent, from the first 2 innings against Schumacher to what we're seeing here in the third and the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the pitching. I mean, that's the biggest thing. A lot more confidence now going into these at-bats.
As Titans, as we said the first time through the lineup card, only 1 strikeout, so they put the ball in play. Just a lot of good defense behind the pitcher here with Schumacher so far this afternoon. No balls, 2 strikes. Legge stands at first base being held on by Eli Schumacher as Tom Schumacher here, his cousin, on the mound. The 0-2 will run up and in. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes with Skachenko due up next here for the Titans in that number 9 spot. And if Liam can climb aboard. The 1-2. Breaking ball, got him out in front. This one will go short left field. Dex Obdam takes a couple of tracks back, calls it off, and makes the play to retire the side. 1 run does come across on a pair of hits. There was no errors with a runner left on base. As we have played 4 today with a new score on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Garrison chipping away at that deficit, down 4-2 as we head to the top of the 5th inning.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is accepting applications for a broadcast sales representative. Applicant should be self-motivated, organized, have ability to communicate clearly, and the desire to help our customer partners grow their business with customer service for their advertising and marketing needs. All experience levels are encouraged to apply. To apply, email your resume to apply@rjbroadcasting.com. R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
The friendly staff at Lemoore Drugstore reminds you from prescription requests and OTC medication. You can find it all at Lemoore Drugstore. Download the app to make refilling your prescriptions more convenient. With school just around the corner, stop by Lemoore Drugstore to pick up everything you need on your back-to-school list. Located in the center of Lemoore in the Bank North Mall. For more information, go to LemooreDrugstore.com. That's LemooreDrugstore.com, or stop in and check them out.
Still to come later today, we'll get to our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, our Holstead Telephone Company post-game connection, that and more. As Thompson 9-1 and 2 batters to the plate. Schumacher 0-for-1 with the ground out, his last time up to the shortstop. This will be a swing and a miss here for Eli. It's now 0-2 as Grady Crawford on for his 5th inning of work, as he currently has 5 pitches. 0-2 will miss. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brent, well, after this pitch, we'll talk about maybe what's changed for Grady here after the first 2 innings. As this one's going to be a high chopper. Crawford going to field his position, flips it over the first base in time for the out, 1-3. What's changed after Thompson put up 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second, as Crawford right now has retired 8 consecutive batters.
Yeah, whatever was happening in the first and second inning, I mean, obviously talking to his catcher, talking to his coach between innings, they've really worked it out. He's settled down. Maybe they still have the jitters from yesterday a little bit coming in.
As looking to bunt is going to be Eli Gemmel. He'll take the bump back. It's 1-0. And we go back through not just 8 batters that he's retired in a row, but it's been 9 of 10, and the last batter that reached base was on an error.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he has just been humming. The last batter that has reached on a hit was Jacob Olsen in the second with that RBI double. Here's a 2-0. Hit on the ground. This one will go to the shortstop. That's Seidler. Seidler makes a nice play. The pick can't make it in time. Rounding first on his way to second. Here's going to be Eli Gemmel. The throw not going to get there. So that'll be an error on the play as Gemmel will reach base on the error by Seidler. And, well, another batter that reaches via the air, and those are starting to mount a little bit now from a Garrison perspective, as that's going to be their 3rd error of the contest. And been something about Garrison games, either they've made the errors or the opposition has made the errors when they have played here in Lisbon.
Yeah, and we've seen quite a few of throws over to first getting by.
Dangerous batter here with Dex coming up. Guy that normally puts the ball in play, and that's what you want with the runner in scoring position, as this one's called a strike. It's 0-1. Dex with a run scored in the first inning, 0 for 1, grounded out on 1 pitch to the third baseman Coble last time up. Ovdom, while he puts one in play, this one will be hit to center. Eigelhart camps underneath it, makes the play. Runner will stay put at second base for the second out. Now to Tom Schumacher, 0 for 1 with a run scored back in the first inning. Game that got underway back at 1:31 here, so nearing that 60-minute mark, top of the first inning. And Grafton will get their chance to warm up in between. They'll have a third-place presentation for the losing team of this one, so still probably about 25 minutes in between. And rake the field and get everything ready for the championship. No balls and a strike here to Tom Schumacher. Big part of the game, right? Garrison scored the last 2 runs. Can Thompson get back up by 3? Or can Garrison put up another goose egg here with Crawford? And all of a sudden, you're a walking ahead away from maybe tying the game up here for Garrison. Through 12 games, just one 10-run rule, and that was yesterday where Grafton 10-run Garrison 13-3 and 6. But a lot of tight, close contests here throughout this State B tournament in Lisbon. The 0-2, that'll run in and hit him. Schumacher will take first base. Seen 2 walks. That's the first hit by pitch. As we see it now with Caden Loyland. Loyland can turn it around in right field. He's got a single today, a 1 for 2. As he punched out his last time up in the third swinging. And that's the situational baseball that Nate Solis kind of alluded to, throughout the course of the weekend, and an area where Thompson probably hasn't succeeded in too often of getting a 2-out RBI hit. I'm going to change that here with Loyland if you can. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Gemmel kind of had a nice little secondary lead at second base there, and Tom Schumacher at first. Third base is open in this tournament if you think you can get there to go steal it. Gemmel dancing again. There he goes. Loyland's not going to take it. Gemmel's going to go to third, and he is safe. The ball nearly beat him, but the tag did not. And right on cue, Gemmel goes to third. That's an S&T quick stop stolen base as Tom Schumacher heads to second.
Yeah, it was another one just missing that tag there. So fingertips on the base.
1-2. The ball was there before the hand, but you couldn't apply the tag. And that tag by Coble, because he caught it about at the letters, Brent, by the time he brought it down to the turf, that allowed Gemmel to get that right fingertip, like you said, in there. Well, again, baseball game of inches.
It is.
1-2 as Crawford will see this one. Loyland hits a towering pop-up. This one will go to center field. Eigelhart doesn't have to move much to retire the side. No runs come across in the inning off of an error. There was no hits and 2 runners left in scoring position. It's still 4-2 as we make our way to the top of the 5th inning here on your, to the bottom of the 5th inning here on YourLiveEvent.com.
This is
Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. The dog days of summer are here and harvest has begun. Please stay safe this season. Summer also means heavily discounted shop, seed meter, and planter inspection rates. Cash and early order discounts pair with $50 per row rebate offered on new systems. And don't forget the fantastic interest rates, including 0% for 1 year. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 with any questions or visit planterdoc.com.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Legion Baseball here today on YourLiveEvent.com, and when, maybe not if, or maybe there's an if, but maybe not when, however you like to say it. When we do have a pitching change or a meeting on the mound, it's brought to you in part by Riverside Building Center, the premier dealer for all of your building supply needs, from the basics to home improvement. And they'll bring it to you as well within a certain radius. You can complete pre-built homes with Riverside Building Center. Stop by in Lisbon or go online to RBC Lisbon. That's rbclisbon.com. Garrison just chipping away in each particular inning. Looking to maybe get one back here. It's the 9-1-2 batters. Mason Skachenko due up. Now falls behind 0-2. He struck out on 3 pitches his last time up in inning number 3. Seidler, then Yoakum, top of the lineup here for Garrison, as Schumacher on for his 5th inning of work. Schumacher sees this. Strike 3 looking as he paints the corner. His 2 strikeouts are of Mason Skachenko here today, and there's one down to open up the bottom of the 5th inning. That is Seidler, who's 0 for 1 with the walk. He was stranded at third base his last time up in the 3rd. 65th pitch upcoming for Schumacher. Both him and Crawford at a full wholesale of 120 to use here today. The pitch. That'll be in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Scott Carlblum calling balls and strikes. Eric Olson up the third baseline, and Krieger up the first baseline here in this one. The 0-1 pitch. Hit on the ground. That'll go to Dex. Obdam with a nice play across the diamond. Made that look smooth as silk. 6-3 on the putout. It doesn't matter if it takes a big hop, a slow hop, a left or right. Dex has been able to be like a black hole over there.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if it's an Obdam or a Schumacher there right now.
As Matt Yoakum, 1 of 2 today, did draw in a run driven in, the first run of the game, and that was on the first hit of the game for Garrison back in the 3rd. If you're just joining us, Tom Schumacher was perfect through 2 1/3 innings, and then gave up a couple of walks, and eventually a single by Matt Yoakum in the 3rd was the first hit of the game for Garrison, and a big one at that to drive in a run. It's now Matt Yoakum here trying to see if he can get something brewing as it stands right now. 2 balls, no strikes to Schumacher. Falls behind the count and the pitch. A miss inside for a ball. It's now 3-0. Schumacher on the verge of walking his 3rd batter potentially here. We have seen 1 4-pitch walk. This will be called a strike. It's 3-1. Grady Crawford due up next here for the Titans. Titans are running the 3rd or running the 4th. 3-1 popped up. The question is it playable? Eli Schumacher in foul territory will glove it to retire the side. A 3-up, 3-down inning, the first since the 2nd, and the 3rd of the game here for Tom Schumacher to retire the side. As we played 5 today on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard, it's still Thompson 4-2.
Show your Bronco pride everywhere you go with the Bronco Spirit Card from American Bank and Trust in Lisbon, featuring the official Lisbon Bronco mascot logo. The Bronco Spirit Card lets you support Lisbon Public Schools every time you make a purchase. With each swipe of your Bronco Spirit Card, American Bank and Trust donates a percentage back to the school district to help fund projects of their choice. Stop by American Bank and Trust in Lisbon today and ask about the Bronco Spirit Card. Locally owned, community focused, Bronco proud, member FDIC.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career, doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
Broadcasting today from the Wallach Johnson Insurance broadcast booth. Get in touch with Grant Walt and the crew at Wallach Johnson Insurance with locations in Lisbon, Gwinner, and Rutland. You can go online to nd-insure.com. That's nd-insure.com. Professional insurance service with a personal touch at Wallach Johnson Insurance. Chase Miller, Brent Dick with you here from Lisbon. Still one more game after this one wraps up. Grafton awaits the winner of this for the championship. Then, if needed, championship game number 2 tomorrow at 1:30. This one is going to be laced in the air. That one's going to split the gap to left center field as that was tattooed by Jeremy Tice. Tice will round first on his way to second. He'll take the turn and hold up there with a ringing double by Jeremy Tice. So Tice with an extra base hit here, and Thompson gets their 4th hit of the contest. Off the bat, who needs a graveyard out there in center field when you can rope one like that to left center?
Yeah, he smashed that one.
That was absolutely tattooed as Michelson will come up now 0 for 2 today, and with this late in the game, do you bunt or you let him swing away? Well, you're going to try to bunt as he'll take it back, and just with how this game is played, Brent, that's the chess match here a little bit of trying to see if you can get that 5th run across if you're Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson will take a run any way they can get it out here. They've already shown that.
The 1-0 offering here from Crawford. Bunt, this one will miss. Got to find the strike zone right now if you're Crawford to try to get that bunt down possibly from Michelson. Otherwise, I'll gladly take first base and get Cooper Larson up. 2-0. Taking all the way for a strike. It's 2-1. Playing even with the bag at third is Coble. And right now, Roberts not really coming in that far at first base, so you could bunt this one up easily to right. The 2-1 pitch. Swinging away. Who needs a bunt? This one goes through. Eigelhart will make the play. Nate Solis going to put on the brakes there for Tice. And then going to second base will be the runner on the throw. So it'll be a single here for Mac Michelson. Then he'll take second on the throw. Good piece of hitting right back up the middle. And with that throw home, you get that extra 90 feet for Michelson. And Thompson knocking on the door here. They left 2 runners on in scoring position with 2 outs in the 5th. And now you got Cooper Larson, infield will come in trying to take that run out at home. Larson hits one in for a base hit. 1 run will come in and score. Yoakum's going to make the play. They'll move up station to station as it's an RBI single on the way for Cooper Larson, and Thompson has a 5-2 lead. Tice comes in to score. Michelson goes to third base. Larson with his second base hit of the contest.
Yep, Anderson in.
And R.J. Anderson will come in and courtesy run. Thank you, Brent. Yeah. Larson's done a nice job at that DH spot. 2 for 3 today with a run scored and a run driven in. That's after his performance yesterday, which got him the player of the game, Brent.
Yep, same thing. 2 for 3 yesterday from the plate.
And also was the winner of record for Lisbon as well in the complete game.
Yep.
Thompson with the squeeze play. This one goes up the first base side foul. It's 0-1. And this is where you can break the game open right now if you're Thompson. Top of the 6th, up by 3. Runners at first and second. The key, nobody out. Crawford will see his 76th pitch upcoming. Olsen with a double back in the 2nd with an RBI and a run scored is 1 of 2. Here's the 0-1 looking to bunt again. This one is bunted. Oh, what a great squeeze play at that. Crawford's going to play it fire in time. Just gets the out, but you couldn't have gotten the ball any better if you're Jacob Olsen. Mac Michelson will come on a score. Anderson will take second base. They do get the out, but that will be a squeeze play, and Olsen gets the run driven in. Kind of more of a safety squeeze on that one, Brent, but still a really nice play.
Yeah, really good play, really good bunt. I mean, Thompson doing an excellent job this tournament.
Small ball variety again for the Tommies, but it did start off an extra base hit by Tice. And all of a sudden you get a couple of singles, a squeeze play. That will be called a strike. It's 0-1, putting the ball in play here against Crawford in the inning. Schumacher 0 for 2 here in this contest. Falling behind, Now no balls and a strike. Crawford with the pitch. That'll be called a strike now, 0-2. Mind you, if Thompson does hang on to win this game as they have a 6-2 lead, it was Thompson and Grafton who played out in Wofford City in the state Babe Ruth Championship about a week ago today. There's a high, towering fly to right. Nordstrom will get underneath it. Runner will not move up, and there's 2 down. Eli Gemmel has reached base twice on 2 errors. 0 for 3 today, but he's got some speed that you got to be cognizant of. And Thompson able to match their largest lead of the game right now here at 4. But trying to make it where one swing of the bat doesn't tie the game up with a 2-out base hit. Instead, it will be a ground ball that'll go to Coble. Coble picks up the baseball and makes a good throw over to Roberts to retire the side. 5-3. 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and a runner left. New score on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Thompson 6, Garrison 2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Say goodbye to discomfort and say hello to reaching your full potential. At Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness, our diverse team of experts has your back in any phase of life. From the warm, friendly greeting to connecting with your therapist, Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness is the backbone of your health. High-quality care with a personal touch. Apex Physical Therapy and Wellness.
In agriculture, the one thing you can count on is uncertainty. What if the GPS short circuits in your tractor? Do you have equipment breakdown coverage? Nodak Insurance has been insuring farmers and ranchers for over 70 years, and we've come across about every scenario you can imagine. Hi, I'm Chris Moen, your agent with answers at Nodak Insurance Company. I know insurance, I know North Dakota, and I might even know you. Call me today for details on how we can protect your farming operation at 757-1613.
Bottom of the 6th inning here on YourLiveEvent.com. Thompson, well, it's been deuces wild, if you will. 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second, and 2 runs in the 6th. While for Garrison, a run in the 3rd and a run in the 4th as it stands. Garrison looking to get back to putting the ball in play against Schumacher here. After Schumacher had a 1-2-3, he's retired 4 straight. This one's called a strike. It's 0-1. There's Grady Crawford. We'll take a breaking ball that'll miss for a ball. It's 1-2. Heart of the lineup, 3, 4, and 5 with Eigelhart and Roberts due up next. As this will be the 74th pitch upcoming for Tom Schumacher. No miss. It's now 1-2 again. You get a 120 in the day, and then you're wrapped up unless you have more pitches prior to that in the tournament. Then you're about maybe a 115 or 113. As this one missing for a ball, it's 3-1. So just at about that performance for both Schumacher and Crawford coming in. They were right at about that 120 mark, just a pitch or 2 underneath it. As this one's called a strike, it's 3-2. The way Schumacher is going, he might not have to worry about it if he can minimize having a big inning here. 3-2 pitch will miss off the table. Schumacher with his 3rd walk of the contest, and for Garrison, they'll take the free bag as they get a runner aboard here in the bottom of the 6th, and that's kind of where we've seen with Garrison, Brent, when they can get someone on against Schumacher, that's when they've been able to make the damage instead of just, you know, seeing what Schumacher can kind of do in 3 up, 3 down because he's had 3 of those innings.
Yeah, 3rd and 4th inning, Schumacher's struggled a little bit when he's put a runner on base.
Eigelhart will come up to the plate, single with a run scored, a stolen base his last time up. This one will be to right field, coming on in. This one will drop Kid and Loyland trying to make the throw over to second, not in time. It's a single. Well, hit them where they ain't between Olsen and Loyland. Crawford will go to second base. Eigelhart will take first on the 4th base hit of the game here for Garrison. 2 batters up, 2 batters on here in the bottom of the 6th. Gage Roberts 0 for 2 today with a flyout and a pop-out. Last time was to the 3rd baseman in Gemmel, who's playing even with the bag at 3rd. And right now for Garrison, going back through their tournament bracket, they were able to put 14 runs up on Lisbon, 5 against Thompson the first time they played, and 3 against Grafton yesterday in the loss in the semifinals. Schumacher from the stretch, the pitch, This one will be hit and through for a base hit. Michelson will come in and field it. Everybody moves up 90 feet. As right now bases are full, and Garrison brings up the tying run here with Cooper Coble. A walk, a single, and a single has loaded them up here quickly in the bottom of the 6th inning for Garrison.
Yeah, Schumacher's really efficient out of the windup, but kind of struggles once he puts a runner on here out of the stretch. Just not the same pitcher.
And Coble 0 for 2 today, has put the ball in play once to Gemmel at third and Dex Ovdom at shortstop. Bases full, nowhere to put him here for the Titans. First pitch swinging, swung on and missed. It's 0-1.
Yeah, Schumacher back working out of the windup now.
With bases full right to Brent's point, especially when you have that, you always interesting to see if the pitcher goes from a windup or a stretch position. And it's like he was listening to you, Brent, in terms of get back to that windup.
Yep.
Here's the 0-1. This will be hit in the air. Going to be short into right, and Caden Loyland will come on and make the play and avoid Olsen. That could have been a collision. Not deep enough to bring the runner in from third base, so Coble with the fly out, and there's one down. Now that's one where someone's going to call for it and take it, and Loyland with his momentum coming on in makes the play as Olsen, like the Blue Angels playing chicken, veers off at the very last second.
Yeah, I seen him dust a beach a couple of weeks ago.
That was, I think, in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh. Emmett Leahy, 1 of 2 so far here today. The pitch. This one will be called a strike. It's 0-1.
Yeah, everything just seems to snap just a little bit better out of the windup here for Schumacher.
His runners right now being held on at the corners, but the first baseman off the bag, but trying to take the run out at home. Well, up the middle looking to turn 2, and here's the 0-1 for Tom. Skied, foul. Grady Loyland gives it a chase, but this one will go out of play on a Olsen Accounting foul ball. Go to Olsen Accounting at colsoncpa.com. Yeah, to your point, just a little bit better of command on the windup than from the stretch, even though you might say, well, why is the reason there? Just maybe just a little bit more in rhythm with how he's been able to keep his motion going and going start to finish. The 0-2, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Pulls the string, and Schumacher gets his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. You get ahead 0-2, you foul off a fastball. You're probably sitting on a fastball. You haven't seen a lot of breaking balls in the inning, and here comes the old Uncle Charlie, and Schumacher gets him. Base is full with Crawford. That's Grady at third base. Eigelhart at second. Roberts at first. Now goes to Liam Crawford, and good block behind the plate by Grady Loyland. It's 1-0. This would be the what-if situation if you're Garrison, if you can't play to run across here in the inning. They left 2 runners on in the third, 1 on in the 4th. The 2 that they left on in the third, 1 was in scoring position in third base. The 1-0. That'll work outside for a ball, 2-0. Just got to get on base if you're Liam Crawford, and this might be one if there is a fastball running in. Easy for us to say it up here, Brent, but maybe you'll lean into it to drive in that run if you're Liam. Like I said, easy for us to say. 2-0. That'll be called a strike. It's 2-1. Overcast skies. Temperatures to start the game were in the low 80s. Expecting the front to kind of make its way through. I know there are some ominous clouds throughout the Red River and Cheyenne River valleys here this morning. A lot of places need the rain from a crop perspective or just your lawn if that's what you're looking for. The 2-1 pitch. This will be popped up. Goes to right. Loyland camps underneath it, and Thompson gets out of the side with the bases full and nobody out. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 big runners left on base. We played 6 today on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Thompson still with a 6-2 lead.
From on-site farm repairs to maintaining the condition of your vehicle, trust the staff at Welton's Tire Service. They've served the Lisbon area since 1972, guaranteeing customer satisfaction and workmanship from farm equipment, tire services, and preventative vehicle maintenance. You'll find it all from affordable prices, free estimates, to their knowledgeable technicians answering any question. Welton's Tire Service is locally owned and located on Main Street in Lisbon. For information, go online to weltonstire.net or call 701-683-5136.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
All right, on cue now, time to get to our Bank North in-game update. If you just joined us, Thompson played at 2 runs in the first inning, 2 runs in the second. Main reason in the first, just a handful of wild pitches and pass balls on a couple of walks. They only had 1 hit in the inning, but it wasn't even an RBI hit because of the pass ball and wild pitches with Dex Ogden and Tom Schumacher coming to score. Thompson put up 2 more runs in the second. Garrison answered with a run in the third, a run in the fourth, and then Thompson 2 runs their last time up here, especially with a nice squeeze play by Jacob Olson. In-game update brought to you in part by Bank North. Here's the 1-0 by Crawford. Dex will take it for a strike. It's 1-1. Ogden so far with a walk and a run scored back in the first. 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out, but it's been his glove defensively has been a little bit of the difference here as he has made a handful of plays over at short.
Yeah, just continuing that good play that he had behind the plate, continuing over at shortstop.
2 balls and a strike is Crawford with the pitch. And Dex just kind of dancing away on that one. It's now 3-1. Tom Schumacher and Caden Moylan, 2, 3, 4 in a good spot here if you're Nate Solis in terms of who you'd want up at the plate. Up by 4 in the top of the 7th inning. 3-1. Dex will take for a strike. It's 3-2. I know 86th pitch here coming for Crawford. Crawford's second appearance of the tournament. This one will go foul. Coming in 19 pitches. So we start adding those pitches up, and at 105 at 135 for the tournament. 120 in the day. This one will be hit on the ground. Well, 3-hopper over to the second baseman. Skachenko makes the out, and Dex is retired on the first out of the 7th inning. Schumacher hit by pitches last time up has reached base twice with a walk and a run scored back in the first. 0 for 1 officially with a ground out to Seiler over at shortstop back in the 3rd inning. Crawford with the pitch that'll miss for a ball. It's now 1-0. Post-game show coming up if Garrison unable to make a rally and try to extend this game. That's something that we haven't had on our baseball bingo card yet, as this one takes a high hopper over to Coble. Coble sets fires, not going to be in time. It's an infield single. Schumacher hustling out of the gate, and he will be rewarded with an infield hit here for Thompson. I was going to say that's something on our baseball bingo card that we haven't had yet is extra innings.
Yeah, no.
And a true walk-off hit. Grafton did have the walk-off in terms of a 10-run rule, but not a true walk-off hit so far. Runner at first base is Schumacher as he's being held on there by Roberts. Caden Moylan will see the pick play over to first base. Moylan with a single. Back in the first, got caught stealing at second, struck out in the third, and was recorded out his last time up in the 5th. As this one is going to hit Scott Carlbloom. Runner will stay put, and just seeing how that one goes through as it went by the catcher and Emmett Legge. I'm just hoping to see Scott all right. We saw Cale Hamry kind of take one in a similar fashion there earlier as it kind of came up and hitting in that neck area where you're pretty well protected, but some of those, Brent, that comes in from the turf, and if you're looking up just a little, now all of a sudden your uvula, so to speak, kind of becomes a little more open.
Yep.
As it looks like Scott's going to be all right.
Yeah, you got to keep the chin down, Scott.
1 ball, no strikes. Easy again for us to say up here as Grady Crawford as the 1-0. That'll be called a strike. It's 1-1. As Tom Schumacher will see if he gets the sign to try to get into scoring position. He does have the speed to do so. We just saw him break the infield single, and it's not going to matter. He was off and running. Moylan will take the hit by pitch. That'll be the second time he able to reach base. I think Schumacher would have had the stolen base regardless on the pitcher there, Brent.
Yeah, he was well away with that secondary lead. He's off to the races.
Jeremy Tice hit a ringing double his last time up to left center. If he could do that again, 1 if not 2 runs would come in here for Thompson as we head back to Tice here at the plate with a run scored as well. His last time up as a fastball missing up and out of the zone. It's 1-0. So after Dex with a ground out, Tom and Moylan have been able to reach base on a single and a hit by pitch. And Thompson looking to add some insurance. They led by 4 after 2. And they've led by 4 after 5.5. This has been their largest lead of the game right now. 1-0, and Tice gave it the old college try, if you will. Foul tipped in the glove. It's 1-1. Almost like Bryson DeChambeau on the tee box, just the way he swings. I mean, he has given it a full force.
Yes, he does.
Trying to barrel one up somewhere. Here's the 1-1. Now 1-2.
Yeah, the high fast one there.
I don't know. Scouting report on a lot of these pitchers when it's 0-2 or 1-2 is another fastball up at the letters. See if Crawford continues that theory. Runner's going to break the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball. They're going to go for the secondary runner and try to get him out there. So Skachenko takes the runner to first. Here goes Roberts. Roberts has to fire and throw it home. Not going to be in time. They get the delayed steal as coming in is Tom Schumacher from third to home. And then Caden Moylan does his best impression to stay alive. And Thompson with the little things with an S&T quick stop stolen base as they steal a run. It's 7-2.
Yeah, they just sold that play really well, but the slide was incredible there as he was just off to that third base side, extended the arm across the plate.
As you said, the slide came through there. Yeah. Then Skachenko at second base kind of trying to take Moylan back to first, and once it went to Roberts, coming down the line at third base was Schumacher. Roberts with not a bad play to Emmett Legge. It's just that tag around, like you said, Brent, with the old swim move, if you will, there for Schumacher. 3-2 pitch. This one will be hit and right to left center field, and that'll be a base hit and a run driven in. Loyland will come in from third base, as you'll see Eigelhart playing the ball back in quickly. Jeremy Tice with a ringing single. It's a run driven in, and Thompson has separated here in the top of the 7th inning as they take a 8-2 lead. And Tice rounding first base as we'll go back to a quick potential break here is Tice being talked about right now as it stands 8-2. Coming in his score is Loyland Tice with his second straight hit. That'll be his second of the game, and as he was rounding, this will be a big blow right now, both for not just this game, but potentially the next game. If Tice can't continue to play, we'll take a break, continue with more after this.
Benedictine Living Community in Lemoore has job openings for the following positions: RN, LPN, CNA, and Activities Assistant. To apply or receive more information, scan the QR code now on screen or call 701-883-5363. That's 701-883-5363 for job opportunities at Benedictine Living Community in Lemoore.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions today and beyond with the Drain Tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yield and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Krogstad's going to be pinch running here for Tice over at first base, who will come out of the game. This one's going to be called a strike to Michelson. As Mack with a single, run scored his last time up, falls behind now 0-2. Short term, great here for Thompson to take 2 runs here in the 7th. Long term, if they can hold on to this game, what's Tice's availability for Grafton coming up here in the championship? As this one will miss, it's 1-2. He does have about 30-some pitches left. He is their starting center fielder, and he is a masher at the plate, so it'd be a big guy to lose in terms of the offensive production, if you will. The 1-2 pitch upcoming. That'll be strike 3 looking, and Mac Michelson is retired, but not before Thompson plates 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. Thompson with the lead by, 1 out, going back through, so 1 down here as Cooper Larson will step in. Just misreading my notes after the Krogstad. So still got a runner to go. Krogstad going to try to get into second base, and now he's going to be retired. So there's your 3 up. And the 3 outs. So 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. Croxton is retired at second after the throw there from Emmett Legge. Good throw by the catcher here for Garrison to retire this side. We go to the bottom of the 7th, 3 outs remaining here for Garrison. They need at least 6 runs. We'll continue with more after this.
Emery Vistos Implement has been family-owned and operated since 1935. Located in Oaks, North Dakota, they sell CarQuest automotive parts and numerous lines of agriculture parts. Plus, you'll have to stop by and check out their clothing and footwear department, featuring the brands of Brothers in Arms, Howitzer, Ariat, Cinch, and Twisted X Footwear. Emery Vistos Implement, everything and anything you need is under one roof. Stop in just south of Oaks on Highway 1 or call 701-742-2167.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 201 Main Street, Hunter.
Bottom of the 7th inning here on YourLiveEvent.com. 8-2, Hunter Insurance Agency bracket update. Winner of this game again will play next against Grafton, roughly a half hour after this game from right now as it stands, at least 25 minutes. Loser of this game is done, and then the winner of this game needs to beat Grafton twice and try to get to tomorrow at 1:30. Otherwise, Grafton will win a state title here this afternoon. There's a swing and a miss. Skachenko comes up, and he has struck out twice against Tom Schumacher. It's 1 ball, 1 strike as Schumacher looking to finish this game off in a complete game fashion. 1-1 pitch, golfed. This one going to get by and over Gemmel into left field. And is able to bring out his old 9-iron on that one. There is Skachenko in the number 9 hole. It doesn't matter how you get a hit, Brent, just get aboard, and now it goes to the top of the lineup.
Yeah, put a flag out there on that one. I think he made the green.
Skachenko will get aboard as it goes down to Seidler. And what Garrison needs is the pass of the baton. I get 3-4 batters on here in consecutive order to put some pressure on Thompson, as this one is going to be hit right back up the middle wall. This helps. You get one single, followed by another single, little small ball variety here, as Seidler gets the base hit. That'll be his first hit of the contest. Second time he's reached base runners at first and second right now as it goes to Matt Yoakum. Yoakum with the first run driven into the game for Garrison back in the third to make it 4-1 at that time. Is one of 3 at the plate. And Garrison, well, the old adage, go down swinging, and that's what they'll try to do here. Schumacher from the stretch. Breaking ball, as this one is hit out down the right field side, but that'll go foul. It's 0-1. Foul ball is brought to you in part by Olson Accounting here in Lisbon. Back to Brent's point here from the stretch, not the windup for Schumacher right now. That's where Garrison's kind of feasted at times against Schumacher. The 0-1. Ball tipped into the glove of Grady Loyland. It's 1-2. Croxton again in left field as Michelson will go from left to center with Tice coming out of the game here in the 7th inning after an RBI single just rounding first. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, hit in the air. This one will go to right. Katie Loyland has to go back a couple of steps, makes the play. Lead runner going to try to tag. Here's the relay by Dex. Not in time. So coming in will be Mason Skachenko to third base. Seidler will stay put over at first. Yoakum with the fly out, and there's one down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Grady Crawford will dig in. Crawford 0 for 2 with a walk his last time up in the 6th, and he was stranded at third base after they loaded him up and allowed Schumacher to go from the stretch to the windup, and he got the next 3 batters out, and that could be your play of the contest, as he had the tying run up to the plate 3 consecutive times, and he was able to get out of it, Brent, in that 6th inning.
Yeah, I mean, just worked himself out of a big jam there, so good job.
No balls and a strike here to Crawford. Crawford will look to put the ball in play, and you only got one more productive out left in you. But right now, the name of the game is base runners, and Schumacher pounds the strike zone. This will be pitch number 99 upcoming here for Tom. Or 98, excuse me, 98 upcoming here for Schumacher. The 0-2 pitch. Runner stays put at first. 0-2, strike three. Looking Schumacher with his fourth strikeout here of the afternoon. 2 down. As they're 1 out away from having a rematch of the State Babe Ruth Championship last week in Watford City with Garrison and Thompson. Thompson won that. We'll see what happens here as Grafton awaits. Again, Grafton Thompson playing the State Babe Ruth Championship last week as this one missing for a ball. Trayson Eigelhart, a pair of hits today with a run scored and a stolen base. He's 2 for 3. 1-0 offering from Schumacher. 1-0 pitch, going to go foul. It's 1-1. As it currently stands, as Eigelhart fouls that one off. Those are always tough ones. You don't really see a lot in Legion baseball, the shin guards and the placements that you do in Major League Baseball. Right. Schumacher, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's a long look and the pitch. Breaking ball missing at the letters. It's now 2-1. Allsted Telephone Company post-game connection coming up. That could be that Tice double. That was stung awfully good. A 2-1 pitch here for Schumacher. That'll miss. Now 3-1. Gage Roberts due up next. And Garrison right now, you just start going through. You want to get to Coble, to Emmett Leahy, to Liam Crawford is kind of what you're hoping to get to right now to try to get that tie and run up to the plate. But that's still not even on the on-deck circle as it stands right now. 3-1 offering here for Schumacher. Rears back. That'll go foul now 3-2. Also, if we get to Emmett Leahy, Schumacher might have to come out of the game with those pitches that he currently has. As now all of a sudden we'll see 104 upcoming. A full 120 to work with coming into this game. Here's the 3-2. Hit on the ground. This one will go to Dex. Takes a high hop. Ovdom has to go over to first in time. And Thompson defeats Garrison 8-2. And they'll have a date with Grafton in the championship upcoming later this afternoon. 2 runs were left on base. There were no runs on 2 hits and no errors in a game that finishes here today at 3:06. So an hour and 35 minutes sold. Grady Crawford picks up the loss. Player of the game, Tom Schumacher, picks up the win, a complete game at that. He is our Enbridge Energy player of the game. We'll take a break, come back, post-game show around the corner next as we get you ready for Thompson and Grafton in the championship.
Lamore Hardware carries your everyday items for plumbing, electrical, automotive, and more. Head to Lamore Hardware for in-store deals on Milwaukee tools and check out the new M18 Hot Shot Card Jumper Pack. And when you purchase certain Milwaukee M12 tools, receive a 2-amp battery for free. Plus, browse their sweet pickings section. You'll see brand new furniture and decor. Lamore Hardware is your community one-stop shop. For more information, go online to lamorehardware.com. That's lamorehardware.com. Benedictine Living Community in Lemoore has job openings for the following positions: RN, LPN, CNA, and Activities Assistant. To apply or receive more information, scan the QR code now on screen or call 701-883-5363. That's 701-883-5363 for job opportunities at Benedictine Living Community in Lemoore.
Sharing our heritage, sharing our future. Choosing the right bank for your financial needs can be challenging with the many choices available. Dakota Heritage Bank is pleased you're interested in knowing more about what they can do for you. The Dakota Heritage Bank community bank setting is a strong advantage they have over larger, less personal banks. Customers are more than account numbers, they are friends and neighbors. Working together, Dakota Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Hit your finances right out of the park with Olson Accounting in Lisbon. Whether you're a farmer, small business owner, or individual taxpayer, Olson Accounting delivers professional financial services you can count on. Olson Accounting wishes the best to all teams in the State B Legion tournament. Don't strike out with your finances. Step up to the plate with Olson Accounting, located at 210 Main Street in Lisbon, or call 701-683-2700.
As we come back here on the post-game show, join us is our Enbridge Energy player of the game. That is Tom Schumacher. A complete game as he was perfect through 7 batters in this one. Would finish with 2 runs against, 7 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 104 pitches, 70 for strikes. Also able to go with 2 runs scored here today, get a hit and a hit by pitch, a walk as well. Tom, first things first, what was working for you early? A 3 up, 3 down, in that first and second inning for you?
Just pounding zone the first couple innings, threw a lot of strikes, trust my defense. I'm a contact pitcher, pitch to contact, let my defense make plays, and that's what I was doing. Kind of lost it for a little bit there in the 3rd and 4th. Probably walked too many guys, but my defense backed me up, and it's easy to pitch when you got an offense go out and put up 8 runs. Give me time to rest in the dugout and everything like that.
Yeah, when you get to see Gemmel and Dex, making plays behind you at third and shortstop, it seemed like the ball was going to Dex every batter there in the first and second inning. What does that do for you as a pitcher?
It's just pure confidence boost. I know if it's going to be hit in the vicinity of him, he's probably going to get it. He's probably going to make the play. And so that makes it easier for me to go out and throw strikes, and that's what happened today.
Biggest thing now as you move forward to Grafton is kind of what, obviously, you got to win today to try to get to tomorrow, but what's the main message as you continue to move forward here and have a date with Grafton in about a half hour?
Yeah, we're not worried about tomorrow. We'll celebrate this one quick, not very long. Put in the past and move on to Grafton. We played them earlier in the year, played them pretty close. Should be a good matchup. Not sure who we got on the mound yet, but I know they'll go out and compete.
Last thing that I'll just kind of ask for you here, Jeremy Tyson, he kind of rounded first there, but a couple ringing hits here. When he just, barrels up the baseball, it sounds different. I said it's kind of like Bryson DeChambeau putting the ball on the tee. It's going to go a long way. Just kind of when you see Tyson at the plate as a pitcher, knowing that he can come up with runners on, how does it just kind of help you knowing that more than not he's probably going to drive someone on in?
Yeah, when he's hot, and it happened at a good time this game. Hopefully he can figure out his foot and be able to play here come soon. But like I said, when your offense is scoring runs, putting runners in scoring position, moving them over, bunting the ball, playing Thompson baseball, it's pretty easy.
Tom, we'll let you go get down the first baseline, let you go rest. Best of luck here moving forward in the championship against Grafton.
Appreciate it.
Tom Schumacher with us here on the post-game show. We'll take a break and continue with more after this.
Let's talk about price. Yeah, we've heard it. Why would I pay more for Polar when big wireless is cheaper? Let's break it down. With us, you're not on hold with someone who's 3 states away. Your call goes to Kimberly, or Ashley, or Tamra, someone who lives right here. When your internet's down, we're not mailing you out a box. We're sending a real person, someone that knows your name and probably your dog's name too. So yeah, we're not the cheapest. We're the best experience. Polar Communications.
Riverside Building Center in Lisbon is the premier building supply headquarters in southeastern North Dakota. They have it from the basic home improvements to complete pre-built homes. Their staff is knowledgeable in every product they sell. With their large inventory and a fleet of 6 delivery vehicles, Riverside Building Center in Lisbon can bring the products to your job site. From a hammer all the way to a home, they have you covered. Visit rbclisbon.com today. That's rbclisbon.com. Riverside Building Center in Lisbon.
As we come back again, our player of the game, we just heard from him, Tom Schumacher, brought to you in part by Enbridge. Go to Enbridge.com for career opportunities. Life takes energy. That again is Enbridge.com for career opportunities. And those interviews are brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank as we hear from our post-game and pre-game interviews throughout the course of this tournament at DHB. That's Dakota Heritage Bank, sharing their heritage and their future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. Go to DHB.bank. From there to our Agassiz Precision Ag play of the contest, and we're going to give it to the defensive play by Dex Ovdom over at shortstop. He did a lot of things really well defensively here, especially early on in this contest, where 3 of the first 4 outs were all towards him at shortstop. A guy that normally plays catcher, played shortstop, made it look really good here today. Dex Ovdom defensively with the glove is our play of the contest at Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer at Agassiz Precision Ag. give them a call or get to their website at planterdoc.com. That's planterdoc.com. As you get ready through the harvest season, we'll be thinking about spring planting season, and as you do, get in contact with Agassi Precision Ag. Halstead Telephone Company post-game connection. Discover local reliability that you can trust. Go to halsteadtel.com. Not so much of a hit, even though you could say Tice was part of it, but the situation in the game. 6th inning, bases full, no outs. Garrison down by 4 runs. They bring the tying run to the plate 3 times. Crawford at third, Eigelhart at second, and Gage Roberts at first base, down 6-2. Cooper Coble flew out, a strikeout of Emmett Leahy, and Liam Crawford flew out. Tom Schumacher in that 6th inning, able to leave the bases loaded with no runs across there in the 6th inning. That's our connection to the contest. Go to Halstead Telephone Company post-game connection. The nice 1-2 combination play for Tom Schumacher and Grady Loyland behind the plate. Part of that battery. Go to halsteadtel.com. Bank North, final box score before we get you set, ready for the championship with Grafton and Thompson coming up in about 20 minutes or so as they continue to rake the field, and then Grafton will have their I.O. before we get to the starting lineup, stand the opening pitch. As we take a look through here at the final box score, getting this one for Thompson as they pick up their 20th win of the season, and in doing so, they will have a date with Grafton here in the championship. Eli Gemmel goes 0 for 4. You have Dex Obdam 0 for 3 with a run scored and a walk. Tom Schumacher goes 1 of 2 at the plate with 2 runs scored and a walk. Kenyon Loyland went 1 of 3 with a run scored, with Jeremy Tice going 2 for 4 with a run scored and a run driven in. Mac Michelson 1 of 4 with a run scored. Larson goes 2 for 3 with a run scored and a run driven in. From there, he had Jacob Olson 1 of 2 with a run scored and 2 runs driven in. And Schumacher goes 0 for 3 here today. Tom Schumacher, 104 pitches, 70 for strikes, 7 innings of work, 7 hits, 2 runs that were earned, 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. Brody Seidler went 1 of 3 with a walk. Matt Yoakum for Garrison 1 of 4 with a run driven in. Crawford 0 for 3. Eigelhart goes 2 for 4 with a run scored. Gage Roberts goes 1 of 3. Coble 0 for 3. Leahy, that was Emmett, goes 1 of 3. You had Liam Crawford 0 for 2 with a run scored, and Skachenko goes 1 of 3 today. Gage Crawford, 7 innings of work, 103 pitches, 70 for strikes, 8 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Tip of the cap to Garrison. A phenomenal season, 35-5 here for the Titans. While for Thompson, they improved to 20-9. That's our Bank North post-game update. So simply put, our bracket breakdown is pretty simple. Grafton and Thompson, the last 2 teams remaining. Thompson must win to force a winner-take-all championship game tomorrow at 1:30. If Grafton wins here today, Grafton will be the state champs. We'll take a quick pause. We'll have a new game link coming up and get to the opening pitch in our pregame show here around the corner. That's our Hunter Insurance bracket breakdown. On behalf of Brent Dick, I'm Chase Miller. Join us for the championship coming up here in a few moments from Lisbon on YourLiveEvent.com.